Hello students, I hope you are good, well and fine, and today we will be learning about the topic the statistics. So first of all we see what do we mean by statistics, why we need to study, and what are the important things that we are going to study in this lectures. Let's see our main objectives and the topics we are going to discuss. So first of all, we see the meaning, the importance of data, why data is too much important or make too much dependency. uh, Okay, so without data, statistics is just nothing. So importance of data, collection of data, classification of data, and we will see some terminologies related to statistics such as range, the class interval, the frequency, etc., the class marks. Okay, let's see. Let me give you a brief what do we mean by statistics and how this all makes sense. So first we collect raw data. Okay, so raw data is any data which is from which we cannot analyze much information. For example, uh, if I have some men, okay, so men and women and their marks, or students. Okay, so students in some class 10th 11th and their marks, I have just a table. Okay, so from this raw data, if this is available, then I clear my raw data. In this information, some of the information are missing. Say the student A marks are not given here, or other thing, some entries are misplaced, some are just unnecessary information. For example, Sunday morning is rainy morning. For this is my, in this second step, I clean my raw data. Okay, so I just remove this rainy day or rainy morning information from this, because this data I want is just for students and their marks only. Okay, and I gathered this information, say somewhere, any source which I am not aware of it. Okay, so then first I collected, or from someone other or near to me, I get collected the data, and then clean the raw data, and then summarize the data, the meaningful information, and then analyze the data. For example, in this case, if I analyze what students marking highest, and what are the after this analysis, I'll came up that A, D, E students are marking highest in exams. Then I'll talk to them and what they are doing, so that their marks are high comparatively. So from this I'll analyze and make a model, and from this I make a model to all other students like B, C, F, so that they can also benefit out of it and improve their marks. Okay, I hope this statistics approach you will get to understand. Collecting data, cleaning of data, and summarizing the data, analyzing the data, and then making some assumptions, some model, some prediction. You will get what you want, or try to get what you want. Okay, so let's move to next. The first, seeing the introduction. The branch of science deals with collecting, analyzing, presenting, and interpreting data is known as statistics, as we previously saw a rough flow diagram. Okay, and this statistics helps to make a decision based on data and make a prediction. Okay, so if you see the weather forecast, these all based on the data or the previous rainy data, and other information, and by using statistics they try to make a prediction that on this day or on this weekends rains will fall. And by doing this, many of the farmers can take benefits or can save their crops by doing something prior to the rainy day. So let's move to next. So now, importance of data means data analysis reveals strong correlation between certain soil treatment and increased crop yields. That means if study is done on certain type of soil and the crop relationship, if suppose soil A gives high yield, high yield, then scientist or the analyst try to see some correlation that what are the base elements which are producing that much of high yields, and from this information government can use this information to promote the use of treatment among farmers, potential leading to higher crop output and improved food security. And another example is if suppose children in a particular region are performing poorly in mathematics, then analyst will take some analysis and present it to government, and government can use this information to introduce a special math tutoring program in that region, or a trained teacher in innovative teaching method, so that the additional learning materials to help children improve their math skills. Okay, I hope the main essence of statistics you understood it very well, why we need it and what are the main elements that are very helpful to make any predictions. Okay, so let's move to next. Let's see what are the next important things. Now the collection of data, how we are going to collect the data. So the collection of data is categorized into two ways. The first is primary, the second is secondary. As the name suggests, primary means the data comes from the source directly. For example, if I am an analyst, then I am just going to the source and taking the data at first priority. Okay, and in the secondary, suppose I am taking data from any other book or from a published magazine or any other source which is not directly related to the source. Okay, so I am just using the second step or the third step to get the information. I am not going to the source directly. Okay, so let's see more in detail that data which are collected for the first time by statistical investigator, or we say analyst, or with this help of his workers, is called the primary data. I hope this is clear. Primary data refers to the first hand data, so it is my first hand data gathered by researcher by himself. It is a real time data, so it is a real time data, and its source may be the surveys, the observations, the experiments, the questionnaire or personal interview, etc. I hope now this is clear to you. Let's move to the secondary data. So what do we mean by a secondary data? Here the secondary data meaning the data collected by someone else. So the main thing to emphasize here is the data collected by someone else earlier, and it is the past data, not the real-time data as in the primary data. The source could be the government publications, the websites, the books, journals, articles, internal records, etc. Okay, these are generally obtained from two sources. If you say published or unpublished, we all summarized here. Okay, so let's move to see the another other main things is that the classification of data. So classification of data is to segregate data into different types, such as let's first of all see the data is compiled in the same form and order in which it is collected. Okay, now what it is known as raw data. Yes, whenever you collected data or compiled the data in the same format, it is called as my raw data or crude data. For example, if you see that the marks obtained by 10 students of class A 10th in English is out of 10, is like this. Say here student name and marks out of 10. Say student 1 2 3 till 10, marks getting is like first student got 9 marks, second 8, third got 10 out of 10, fourth got some 6, and then 10th got 9 marks. So this is my collection. Then this data will be called my raw data, which I collected by asking each of the 10 student that what they got in English out of 10. Okay, I hope this concept of classification, or sorry, the raw data concept is clear to you. So you understood what is our raw data looks like. Let's move to see the classification. So first, geographical basis. If you are collecting data on the basis of geographically, that means a region or place, based on the basis of region or a place. For example, if you are collecting data of the production of food grains, that how much a state produces food grains. For if you try to see this table, so in this table Andhra Pradesh got production of food grains of 9,690 tons. We are taking unit in tons. In Bihar, 8,074 tons. In Haryana, 10,065 tons. In Punjab, it must be Punjab, not this. So Punjab, 17,065 tons, and in UP or Uttar Pradesh is 28,095 tons. So from this data, this is my data on the basis of states, on the basis of region, on the basis of place, on the basis of, or in summary or in a single word, I can say it is a data geographically or geographical basis. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now let's move to next. If you see, now the second classification you see is the chronological classification. If you know the word or meaning of chronology, chronology means time. Okay, so this means classification of data on the basis of time. Time means hour, day, week, a month, year. Okay, then it is called our chronological classification. For example, if you see that in our India population census held, so every in different year, if you see the table, that in 1951 the population, we are taking in crores, in 1951 the population was 46.1 crores. In after 10 years, the 1961 53.9 crores, the population get increasing every 10 year. If you see, so in 1971 it was a 61.8, in 1981 68.5, in 1991 it was 88.4, in 2001 it was 100.01 crores. Now in 2024 it is near or near to be, I think 140 plus crore. Okay, I'm not giving you the actual facts, I'm just giving you the rough estimates. Okay, 140 plus crores. Okay, so this is my data on the basis of year, on the basis of chronology. Okay, so this is classification, or this type of data we classified into chronological classification. I hope this example is also clear to you. So now let's move. Now, on the basis of qualitative. Okay, so what do we mean by qualitative? Qualitative means these words come from quality. So quality. So when the data are classified into different groups on the basis of their descriptive qualities and properties, so such classification is known as descriptive or the qualitative classification. I hope you understand by just naming. Okay, so as the name suggests, qualitative means quality based. Okay, since the attributes cannot be measured directly, they are counted on the basis of presence and or absence of qualities. For example, if you say, if you are taking data of intelligence, literacy, unemployment, honesty, etc. Okay, so these are the example of some qualities on which the data can be extracted on the basis of literacy, unemployment, and etc. So let's see table of sex and employment, which is we have a gender, male and female, and the position of employment. Okay, so male which are employed is this 16.2 in lakhs, and female are 13.7, so population in lakhs. Unemployed male are 26.4 and unemployed females are 24.8, and in total, if you see, the total male population is 42.6 employed or unemployed, and in female it is 38.5 lakhs. I hope this is very clear to you. Okay, now let's move to next. Next, it says the quantitative basis. So in previous, as the name suggests, the qualitative refers to the quality. Here quantitative refers to the quantity. Okay, so the quantity, so it can be measured physically. Example, marks obtained, height, weight, age, or income or expenditure. So in first example, I talked about the 10 student marks in English out of 10. So that was the example of quantitative basis. Okay, so such facts are known as variable values. Now, if such facts are kept into classes, then it is called classification according to quantitative or class interval. So if you see the marks obtained in between this 10 to 20, the number of students are 7. So some of the students might be getting 11, 12, and say 19, 10, etc. So 7 students are having marks in between 10 and 20, and 9 students are getting in this interval, 15 students are getting their marks in this interval, and 6 students are getting their marks in this interval. I hope this is clear to you. Now let's move to some more definition or the terminologies which are very important for statistics. Okay, so the first is variate. So variate is the numerical value varies in objective is called a variate. Generally a variate is represented by x. So variate is represented by x. There are two types of variate. First one is discrete, second one is continuous variate. In discrete variate, its magnitude is fixed. For example, the number of teachers in different branches of an institute are 30, 35, or etc. any number. And in continuous variate, it magnitude just not fixed. So not fixed. It is expressed in group like 10 to 20, 20 to 30, or we say this is our class interval. Okay, so it lies in a interval. Okay, so continuous variate lies in class intervals. Lies in class intervals, but they are fixed. They just have a fixed magnitude. So as we saw in examples, let's move to next. So here now the definition for range. So what do we mean by range? Range is the difference of the maximum and the minimum value of the variable x. We called range. And in class frequency means in each class the number of times a data is repeated. Number of times the data is repeated is known as its class frequency. And class interval we already talked about. A class interval can be defined as the difference between upper and lower limit of a frequency distribution table. In another words, it is just the width of each class. Okay, so let's see more. Class limits: the lowest and the highest value of the class are known as lower and upper limits respectively. So respectively of that class. I hope this is also clear. If you see example, so 20 to 30, so this is my lower limit and this is my upper limit, and these are called as class limits, and this whole is my class interval, and the range is my 10. So 30 my upper minus lower is my range, which is 10. I hope this is all clear. Length of the class interval. Okay, and now the class mark means the average of lower and the upper limits of a class is called the class mark or the mid value. So class mark is just the mid value of any interval, which is denoted generally denoted by x. Okay, I hope this all are very clear to you. So so if x be the mid value, so if x be the mid value or the class mark, then h and h be the class interval. Let's say h is our class interval. Then the class limits. So the class limits are x minus h by 2, x plus h by 2. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So for today's today it is just it, and we will meet again with a more example and more question for these terms, and you will understood more clearly. For this, thank you. We will meet again. So thank you.